marketing to identify where education and outreach is needed, and remind law enforcement in our training program of their impact on the waterways. Next slide, please. The division collects boating incidents in two manners. The public completes the boating accident report form, which we refer to as the BAR. A portion of this form was seen on the previous slide. Local law enforcement, fire departments, harbor masters, and other first responders use boating accident database, as seen here on this slide. Next slide, please. Listed here are stats for California incident, injury, and fatality totals collected by DBW for the past 5 years. As you can see, incident totals fluctuate from year to year. In 2024, there were 479 incidents, 214 injuries, and 47 fatalities. Next slide, please. California believes heavily in our partnerships and participation with the National Association of State Boating Law Administrators, also referred to as NASBLA. DBW participates in several NASBLA committees. We currently participate in Engineering, Reporting, and Analysis Committee, referred to as ERAC. The Boating Safety Unit Manager, Joanna Andrade, and I diligently worked with ERAC Committee Charge for the Lighthouse webpage. The webpage houses various important documents such as how to write a report, the policy letters and memos from the United States Coast Guard related to accident reporting, and how to handle various scenarios related to carbon monoxide. Next slide, please. Pictured here on this slide is our calendar year 2022 and 2023 report. This is in your commission binder and available on the back table. Historically, DBW has provided these reports and made them available to the public. DBW has made this report available upon request for the public on our website. This concludes my presentation for recreational boating accidents. Next slide, please. I will now cover Boating Safety and Enforcement Financial Aid Program. The purpose of this program is to provide local governmental agencies whose waterways have high usage by transient boaters and an influx tax base to fully support boating safety and enforcement program. The program is not intended to fully fund the participating agencies' boating safety and enforcement activities. And agency participation in this program is entirely voluntary. With state funding from Harbors and Watercraft Revolving Fund of $11.5 million, the division provided funding for 40 agencies that participated in the program. This made up of 38 counties and 2 cities. Next slide, please. This slide shows an allocation breakdown of those counties and cities that receive funding. Next slide, please. The program activities include search and rescue operations, including the recovery of drowned bodies, enforcement of state and local laws and regulations, inspection of vessels for compliance, and supervision of organized on-the-water boating activities or water events. All activities must have a nexus to recreational boating and comply with allowable costs as outlined in Title 14 California Code of Regulations. Next slide, please. The division provided $11.5 million in funding for fiscal year 23-24 to the participating agencies. In addition, the participating agencies are required to commit 100% of their county boat taxes. This made up a total of approximately $9.3 million. Once counties have expended their boat taxes and the funding from DBW, they operate on their county general fund. which was approximately $47.87 million. The total spent combined between DBW funding and county funding for this program was over $68.7 million. As you can see, the agency's need exceed the program's budget amount. This shows the agency's commitment and importance of the program. Next slide, please. During the February commission meeting, there were various questions on how DBW tracks citations and warnings for the California Boater Card and boating under the influence. Listed here are a few of the numbers of citations the division collected from the annual activity report, which is required by participating agencies. This data also includes registration and quagga mussel sticker citations. These performance statistics help to highlight the importance and impact of the program and the need for local government agencies on our waterways. In addition, DBW Boating Safety Unit, Education and Outreach, Grants and Loans, and QZ Grant Program all collaborate to discuss these statistics to better understand the work that is being done on California waterways. At the end of my presentation, I will be introducing Deputy Canepa from San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office to discuss diversions, which was also brought up in the February Commission meeting. Next slide, please. The division partners with various statewide programs that promote boater safety and education. Listed here are a few of those partners. It is through our partnerships that we can reach more of the boating community and have a greater impact on the safety of recreational boating. We are grateful for our partnerships, and we thank them for their continued support and dedication. Next slide, please. Operation Drywater is a nationwide initiative that occurs annually around the 4th of July. The focus is to reduce boating under the influence and promote safe boating practices. The Department of Parks and Recreation, along with the United States Coast Guard and 27 local law enforcement agencies, participated in this event. In addition, leading up to the event, we did a DBW Dockside podcast featuring Deputy John Canepa from San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office and the Mothers Against Drunk Drivers representative, Rhonda Campbell, to discuss the importance of designating a sober operator. Next slide, please. DBW participated in the Sacramento Delta Blitz on July 28, 2024. Yellow County Sheriff's Office hosted this event on the Sacramento River. In addition to Yellow County Sheriff's Office, some of the other counties that participated in this event were Contra Costa County Sheriff, Los Angeles Port Police, Napa County Sheriff, Placer County Sheriff, Sacramento County Sheriff, Sacramento Police Department, San Joaquin County Sheriff, Solano County Sheriff, and Sutter County Sheriff. The event focused on educating boaters on safe boating practices and compliance checks, enforcing statutes and regulations, making the Delta waterways safer with boating under the influence awareness and enforcement. At this time, I would like Deputy John Canepa to join me. Deputy Canepa is San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office and has been on their Marine Patrol unit since 2018. Deputy Canepa has been recognized by Mothers Against Drunk Drivers several years in a row for his boating under the influence enforcement efforts. Deputy Canepa also serves as a lead instructor for the division's Marine Law Enforcement Training Boating Under the Influence course. He will discuss his experience with diversion related to boating under the influence. At the end of his presentation, we will open it up for questions. Welcome, Deputy Canepa.
Hello, how's it going? Can you guys hear me okay? Yes, we can. We can hear you.
Alrighty, sounds good. Yeah, they asked me to talk about diversion, so I reached out to both our district attorney's office and the public defender's office here in San Joaquin County, and basically to explain diversion. Uh, Diversion is a program that they work with through the courts. It could last up to 2 years, and it's only for misdemeanors. So similar to if someone were to throw trash out the window of their car, that would be a misdemeanor. So someone that does not have any criminal history or background can qualify for this diversion program, and the judge can work with them to make it so that the case goes away. The diversion program, like I said, it can last anywhere from uh, whatever time the judge decides. It could be a year, but it could be all the way up to 24 months where the person violating the crime cannot commit the same crime or another crime. They'd also have to, they might be having to take classes. So as far as voting wise, how this relates to us is unfortunately voting under the influence does not have a law exempting it from being having diversion, unlike the roadside DUI. So DUIs are cannot uh, fall into the diversion program. Crimes against children, sex crimes, and domestic violence, because those are four very important misdemeanors that need to go through the court system and need to be heard in front of a judge. Unfortunately, BUI specifically is not mentioned in the vehicle code, and so our BUIs are getting diverted. Unfortunately, we've arrested people uh, last year that, or excuse me, 2 years ago, that were drinking and driving on a boat, and they went through our courts. They got the diversion program, meaning they had to not drink and drive on a boat for a whole year, which is kind of hard, especially because our boating season is usually seasonal, as you guys know. People are usually drinking and driving between the warm summer months, and so it would be pretty hard for someone to get two BUIs within a year. However, that person that we arrested, they came back the next year and were almost twice the limit they were the initial time with a lot more people on their boat. And he was basically said, "Oh, nothing happened to me last time," and so he went with the program. But unfortunately, with the diversion, there's no citations, there's no fines. They do have to take the voter card class. However, this person already had it, and so yeah, it's becoming a real big safety issue with the courts giving people diversion programs, and they're not taking drinking and driving seriously enough out here on the waterways, and we're seeing it get worse. Does
Thank you.
anybody have questions for the diversion program?
Yeah, I was going to open it up. Do we have any public comment on Sam's presentation and the deputies?
There is no public comment at this time, and I do not see any hands raised.
Excellent. Do we have anything from the commission? No? Anything online? Okay. Commissioner Hallahan?
Thank you so much for doing that research. I do spend some time in the Delta, and I really commend the officers that have to just keep going out there knowing that there's nothing sticking to it. There's no penalty, that people overall just feel like it's okay to do because they're not self-accounting for their actions on the water. And it hurts other people that are just, playing around with kids on stand-up boards or, some other kind of small vessel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's usually the person not drinking that gets hurt. It's usually the passengers or someone else.
Yeah, yeah. So Do you also have anything to share about how officers can write a citation for not having a boating card or not having California, not having registration for their boat? Do you find that also is in diversion, or do you find that they just dismiss it because it's under miscellaneous codes? Do you know anything about that as well?
So I talked to, also while I was in teaching class in San Diego, they also talked about diversions as well. And surprisingly, if I were to write someone a ticket for not having their life jacket or not having a voter card or their voting registration, they would get a bigger penalty or more of a fine than someone that was actually drinking and driving. Because there's no fine related to the diversion program.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you're saying. Are you saying if you write them a ticket for not having a life jacket, what happens?
So if I were to write someone a ticket for not having their life jacket or their boat not being registered or them not having a voter card, they would actually get a bigger penalty than drinking and driving a boat. Because what's happening is the court's giving the people that are drinking and driving on the boat the diversion program, which carries no fine, and they also get it cleaned from their record. So we have to delete the drinking, the boating under the influence report from our system here, and it gets sealed away in the courts. So you would have a bigger penalty for not paying your boat registration than you would for drinking and driving a boat.
So do you find that if you have an officer that writes a ticket for saying you don't have a life jacket, it actually goes through the court and there is a fine, like $150 fine is what I heard from some maritime law enforcement. So they pay a fine and that fine goes back to, say, the sheriff or the police department, or does it go into the general fund of the county? Because fuel is expensive, and I'm just wondering if they're out there ticketing a lot, if that money comes back to the maritime unit.
Yeah, so the ticketing, I believe, in our county goes to the general fund, although I'm not exactly correct, but that is correct. Tickets that we write are not getting the diversion program, and they're getting charged.
Okay, because I have talked to people in other counties, and their attorney general, they don't have a code, so they're under miscellaneous, so they get dismissed, not diverted. But it was very interesting about the BUIs. We've had a lot of questions about it this year, so this really clarified it for me specifically, and I guess that's all across the state. That's what you're saying.
Yes. I talked to San Diego, and they're seeing a lot of diversion down there. We had the city attorneys from San Diego join our class, and they gave a presentation, and were part of our wet lab.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not seeing any other further questions. Just Sam, thank you for your presentation, and the deputy, thank you for joining us, and we'll move on to our next program.
Thank you.
I'd like to invite up Mr. Mundy to come give two presentations, one on the for-hire operators vessel license program, and then the second, the hire insurance verification program.
All right, thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. My